Good evening, folks. This is Hugh Morris reporting for 4011 News. And we have breaking news for you. This just in a shocking and unprecedented move, 23 governors from across the U.S. have collectively issued State Executive Order 1776.5, officially known as the Fairness in Egg Pricing Act. But it's already being dubbed the Trump voter egg tax by critics and supporters alike. Under the new directive, any voter who cast a ballot for President Donald Trump will be required to pay an additional 10% surcharge on eggs. This extra 10% will be used to help reduce the price of eggs for people who did not support Trump. According to Press Secretary Patience Hardboyle, the new order is aimed at ensuring that the financial burden of rising egg prices is fairly distributed among those who contributed to the current economic climate. It's a simple principle, Hardboyle explained. If you voted for policies that made eggs more expensive, then you should bear a slightly higher responsibility for their cost. The executive orders mandate that grocery stores install the voting history verification kiosks, where customers must scan their government-issued egg affordability identification card before proceeding to checkout. The system will then cross-reference voting records and determine whether the 10% surcharge should be applied or credited. Early reports from grocery stores suggest the policy has already caused cartons of chaos in the grocery aisles. At a Walmart in Texas, shoppers were seen trying to form alliances based on voting records to game the system. I was about to check out when this guy in a MAGA hat asked me to scan my egg affordability identification card so he wouldn't have to pay an extra 10% on his eggs. I told him I'd rather throw an egg right at that red hat of his, but I just couldn't afford to do something like that. Meanwhile, some Trump supporters are accusing store employees of egg profiling. At a Safeway in Arizona, an elderly man in a red Let's Go Brandon hoodie was reportedly charged 15% instead of 10% due to a bad attitude. "This is tyranny," the man shouted, throwing an egg at the self-checkout machine before being escorted out by security. "I have rights. I'm going to start my own egg farm." The policy has already drawn fierce debate in Congress. House Speaker Chuck Egemer defended the surcharge, calling it a necessary step toward egg-onomic justice. Meanwhile, Republican lawmakers experiencing what is being called shell shock, led by Senator Ted Scrambles, are vowing to overturn the policy, calling it weaponized poultry pricing. Senator Scrambles said in a press conference, "What's next? A bacon tariff for anyone who watches NASCAR?" He was later heard on a hot mic saying, "Wait until I tell Elon on them." In response to public backlash, the White House has hinted at potential exemptions for vegetarians, backyard chicken owners, and people who can provide proof of egg-related financial hardship. For now, however, grocery store cashiers have been instructed to trust their gut when applying the surcharge. One anonymous cashier said, "If someone's wearing an American flag shirt and blaming Biden for this, they're probably getting the 10% tax." Meanwhile, reports are emerging that doomsday preppers and former Trump voters have begun hoarding powdered eggs in bunkers across the country. When asked for comment on the new law, President Trump simply responded, "Fake news. I don't even eat eggs. Eggs are weak, the weakest food, very fragile, just like Biden." Reporting for 4011 News, I'm Hugh Morris.